going on, everyone? This is Mitch with SC Weather. Hope y'all been having a great Monday. We're here to talk a little bit of weather, what looks to be a very powerful cold front that's going to make its way through and deliver what looks to be a freeze for a lot of areas into the southeast and the eastern U.S. and some potential snow for areas of the interior, northeast, and things like that. But the main thing we're going to talk about in this video is the potential for a big-time line of storms that has the chance to develop and move its way through the mid-south, the deep south, into the southeast, into Carolinas and things like that, and move all the way from the west, all the way through the coastal areas. So that is going to be a threat for us Wednesday into Wednesday night, overnight Wednesday night, into the early morning hours Thursday, before the cool air begins to move in Thursday. So we're going to break that down. What can we expect? It's kind of the timeline of this thing, because this could be a pretty potent line of storms. If you guys have not subscribed, definitely consider doing that. I think after we get past this cold front, we may potentially enter more of a slower period. So as always, growth is kind of slow during the slower periods. But it's always nice for me personally, because it gives me a little time to back up from weather a little bit, because this can be a very consuming hobby. For sure. So definitely consider liking the video, subscribe if you haven't, and let's get started with this. Storm Prediction Center already has a marginal threat level 1 out of 5. Sorry guys, I'm a little tired this evening. Level 1 out of 5, and I think this might have a chance to get upgraded to a slight risk before the beginning of this event. I don't know if that's going to happen tomorrow morning or if it's going to happen the morning of this event. But this is basically highlighting an area of the main threat with this is going to be strong winds. There's not going to really be a tornado threat. It's not going to really, of course you can't rule out that, but there's not going to be a big time hail threat or anything like that. This is definitely going to be a damaging wind kind of threat. And I think the biggest threat here is definitely going to be kind of similar to what happened Sunday for the southeast, with the strong winds along a potent cold front. So definitely be weather aware as we're getting into tomorrow, into Wednesday, as a line of storms is going to make its way through. We're going to show you a radar simulation of that too from the short range models. But check it out. I don't know what's up with this little glitch that pops up, bang, like that, like there's a freaking hurricane over the Ohio Valley and Mid-South. But the clearing is really what's going on. Check out this whole entire area where there's not a cloud in the sky. You can actually see some burning going on here and areas of Arkansas, Missouri, and Texas. But the front has stalled out down here. That's why you have cloud cover in Florida and more warmer temperatures. But it has been a picture-perfect day across the eastern U.S. Beautiful conditions. It was a cool start. It's going to be cool again tomorrow morning. We're going to warm up fast tomorrow ahead of a southerly flow that gets kicked up ahead of this front. But here you go. Here's this line of storms, and I'll back it up a little bit here. It's going to really get its act together around right here, around Wednesday afternoon. The heating of the day, it's going to get its act together and stretch all the way from Louisiana all the way up through, portions of Kentucky and Virginia. What's going to happen here is the timing is definitely different from the NAM and the HRRR model, and I'll show you that here. The NAM, for instance, I'll stop it right here and I'll get a little bit closer. The NAM has it. Let's see if we can get a little bit closer here. Check out the line of storms working its way through Tennessee. But as you're getting into the evening hours, you're getting into about evening time, whether that's 7 or 8 p.m. It's going to be give or take. It starts to enter the Atlanta area. It starts to enter the upstate of South Carolina, the mountains of North Carolina. So the NAM, for instance, would have the timing of this thing moving in kind of more overnight into the Carolinas and central Georgia and to Virginia. But look how intense this looks kind of around the Carolinas. This looks like a very intense line of storms overnight Wednesday into Thursday. So it has it definitely moving in kind of in the middle of the night, and it shows it pretty intense in the middle of the night too. 06Z is equivalent to give or take about 1 a.m., 2 a.m. in the morning. So this is a pretty powerful cold front. That's as far out as it goes. And you can see the blue lines over here. Basically, that's symbolizing much colder, much drier air coming in behind this line associated with the front. So this is going to be a big-time strong wind threat for sure. There was a lot of strong wind reports, wind damage yesterday across South Carolina, especially east of Columbia as that line of storms got kicking. But this has a chance to be intense. Now I want to show you the HRRR model as we kind of zoom out here. And here's the line. It has it a little bit more sloppy out to the east, but it kind of gets its act together. And this is as far out as it goes. Right here is 48 hours out. It's 18Z, which is Wednesday afternoon. It already has a line into the upstate South Carolina, deep into North Carolina, halfway across Virginia, and already in the Atlanta area. So it has it much, much quicker by several hours on the HRRR model. And to be honest, I might believe this a little bit more just because these lines of storms tend to move in a lot quicker than modeling shows. So I would lean towards the more quicker scenario, which would mean for areas of the Carolinas and Georgia that this would move through more into the afternoon and evening hours as opposed to overnight. So we have to watch this because this could definitely trend, like I said, into a level 2 out of 5 risk, which is a slight risk. It could trend a lot worse, but I tell you what, I don't really see a tornado threat with this, guys. I think this was strong winds, potentially damaging winds in areas where the line can really intensify. So a big story about this too is the cold air that filters in behind this. You check out here, we go up a little bit higher. This is Wednesday morning. Wednesday morning we'll wake up very, very warm. And this is just what happens when you have a powerful cold front coming through, and you can obviously tell what this cold front is. You get a southerly flow that basically warms things up ahead of the, it's like compressional heating ahead of the cold front. So that's why it'll be a very warm day where the cold front has not moved through for Wednesday. For instance, Wednesday it could warm into the 80s and the 90s in Florida. I wouldn't be surprised if areas in central and southern Georgia, areas of South Carolina, maybe even North Carolina, briefly clip 90 degrees, especially in this area right here. Check out this cold front. It's going to move through overnight, and it's going to go from the 80s to the 40s for lows as you wake up Thursday for a lot of areas. And check out Thursday during the day. High temperatures only in the 50s and 40s across the southeast for your first day of April. So we're going to open up the first day of April very chilly. But the bigger story is Friday morning. This is a deep freeze. This freeze almost goes to the Gulf of Mexico, but it has freezing temperatures all the way into Birmingham, areas of Mississippi. The entire state of Tennessee is below freezing just about. Columbia, South Carolina, you guys are going to flirt with freezing. Charlotte's going to be below freezing. Raleigh's going to be below freezing. And definitely points north will be. The mountains are going to get a deep freeze. And so this is an impressive cold blast. Very cold air up in the northeast in the Ohio Valley. So, but the thing is if you go back in time, yeah, we'll have another cold morning Saturday morning. But the temperatures are going to really rebound for the weekend. For instance, Sundays it's going to be widespread 60s and 70s. It's going to be kind of like today where it was chilly in the morning. And it's going to get very warm during the day. So we'll continue to watch what happens with the pattern as we get late next week for the next week. But for now, that's too far out to really talk about. But that's all I got, guys. Definitely be weather aware for Wednesday, and we'll talk more about it tomorrow as we get deeper into the short range modeling. But y'all have a great evening, and thank you all for tuning in.